What's going on? You know this is AlTone, and welcome to another absolutely fantastic day. So you're probably wondering why I've got this old beat up humidifier in here. This thing is probably going to go bye-bye soon. I don't even know that I have filters for it, and honestly I'm not sure that they even make or sell the filters for it. Every now and then I will catch them at Walmart on sale. So part of the reason why I'm showing you that particular humidifier is because I've been sent an Eva humidifier. And Stadler Form Swiss design humidifier. This is Stadler Form Eva. And it's actually, I'm pretty impressed already. I was sent this for an honest review, and I plan on doing that honest review, but I'm also going to share with you my first impressions on it. After I get an opportunity to use it for a little bit, I will do another video just sharing with you or giving you a full review on the humidifier. But I'm already pretty much impressed with it. Doesn't look like it doesn't seem to have a whole lot of replaceable parts such as filters that you have to worry about. And from what I can see already, and I did do a little bit of reading about this one, it seems that you can just clean it and continue to use it. There may be one or two small pieces that have to be replaced. I have not checked the prices on those parts yet, but just from first impressions, I'm thinking I'm going to like this one a little bit better than that one. So let's get this thing out of the box so you can see it. And I'm going to take the box and put it down here. So, first thing, and it has a remote control. I thought that was kind of cool. And this little thing shows you all of the different humidifiers that they actually sell. So, I guess you're trying to make some extra sales there. And I've actually never in my life seen a humidifier like this one before. So, it's going to be exciting checking this thing out. So this is the remote and sensor. This little wand thingy here. So there's a sensor here. So I can tell you right now, this is something that's kind of cool. So on the one that I was using, I just pushed out of the way over here. The sensor is actually in the cord. So depending on where you set it at, the sensor could end up being in a corner somewhere, behind the humidifier, close to the humidifier, in a place where you're absolutely going to get a reading. You know what I mean? You have this thing running and the sensor's right next to it. Of course, it's going to pick up that the humidity in the air is a little bit more so than what it normally would be. This remote has the sensor separate, and it takes batteries. I'll see if the batteries are included or not in a second. But there's a base for this remote, which is a little weighted, and sit it up on a nightstand or something like that, and be able to. So I did do a little bit of research on this before I started this video, but you can just take this and sit it someplace next to you and turn it on and off, and you can then position the humidifier itself someplace else in the room. This just says cube on it. Not exactly sure what that is yet, but evidently there's some foil. It sounds like it's got some charcoal in it, so it's probably some type of filter. And of course we do have batteries for the remote. So it does come with the batteries, which is good. And let's see if we can get this bad boy out of the box. Alrighty. Try to do this in a way where I wasn't going to lose it. Well, looky there. So how does this? Oh, okay. Whoa. Alrighty. Oops. Okay. Didn't do that. Looks like I was taking the top part out. And there it is. So this thing is essentially shaped the same as the remote. Remote's just a smaller version. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So, I'll drop this back down into the box. And then we can take a look. So, this is actually telling you how to operate it. So evidently there's a cartridge in here because it also says to soak the cartridge, which I have not seen yet. I guess I have to take the top off. I have to take it apart in order to do so. So you'll soak the cartridge first. Sorry about all that with the plastic. You'll soak the cartridge first. You're going to check the hardness of your water using what they have supplied here for you to check the hardness of your water. And then from there, as I'm looking at the manual here, it seems to have an auto mode, warm mode, water preheating for a high output, output levels 1 through 5, from powerful to very quiet, hero stat, desired humidity, 30 to 75% humidity or continuous, and an on-off switch. So all of that should be, so all of those settings are right there on the top of this humidifier. And so let's take this out. So this is the tube or the container for your water. This is much bigger than the container for the water here. How much it actually holds, I couldn't tell you. Now there's a cartridge inside this container, and that cartridge is what you want to soak in water. So that is the container. And now there's a little brush inside here. Not exactly sure where that was supposed to be at because it was just sitting on the side. I imagine it attaches to something. And that's what the inside. Whoops. Let's move this off to the side here. And that's what the inside of this container actually looks like. And so this comes out. This is what the air or the steam to humidify the air comes out of. And all of this stuff comes out so that you can clean it, which is very good. And there's one spot, the cube actually fits down in there. And that's it. The rest of this is pretty simple. There's one little block down there that's to be removed for cleaning purposes only. This is removed for cleaning. And then you put it back. And then this can be cleaned, which ought to be pretty interesting. And then the cube, which is here, you take that out of the plastic, you put the cube in there, and then we take this and we take it and we soak it in water. And this has actually a filter in it, and it seems like a solid hard filter. So we soak this in water for a little bit, and then anti-calcic water filter against lime scale. That's what it says across the top of this. So I guess this is going to help filter the water out as it's going through the system to help this last for a little bit longer. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and soak this bad boy in water for a little bit, and then we're going to fill the container up. We're going to put this whole thing together, and then, so I'm going to go ahead and take the cube, which it doesn't say that the cube needs to be soaked in anything. So we're going to take this cube and we are going to put it in there, and then we're going to turn it on and let it run for a little bit and just see how loud it is and that kind of thing. Because I don't know about you, but at nighttime when I'm trying to sleep is usually when this is running, and I don't care for a whole lot of noise. So one of the things about the other one, so I try to start it up maybe about an hour before going to bed and close my bedroom door, so the humidity could be at a level to where that humidifier was not going to be on all night long, keeping me awake. I like quiet. I like peace and quiet when I'm trying to go to sleep. So that was the purpose for that. And I'm trying to find a place that this actually goes. Okay, I see where it goes. So there's one little slot down in here that little brush fits into. And that's where it gets stored for cleaning purposes. So you have it for cleaning purposes later. There's two little LED lights in here, and one of them, which you'll see, I believe they're there so that you can see exactly what your water level is, so that you can, without taking it out, you can see how much water is left in the reservoir. But overall, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's all there is to it. Nothing spectacular or totally out of the ordinary. And so we're going to go ahead and soak this bad boy in some water, and then we'll come back and run it and see how it sounds, and see what it looks like. And so this needs to be soaked for 24 hours. So we're going to soak it, and then we'll come back and take a look and see what we think. I'm going to test the water out too while I'm at it to see what our water hardness is. So, glass of tap water from our faucet. Let's take a look. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out because I'm just not sure. We distill our water for drinking and we filter it, so I'm not sure. So let's take a look. It looks like we are good to go. There's nothing at all wrong with this water. It's not too hard. So like I said, we're going to go ahead, soak this for 24 hours. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to run this for you so you can get an opportunity to see what it sounds like and all of that. So, all right, let's do this. Okay, so we are back and we have indeed soaked this filter, Stadler Form Anti-Colic Cartridge. I can't say that right to save my life. But we've soaked it. It is good to go. And so now we're going to go ahead and fill this bad boy up, power it up, and see how good it goes. But essentially, just wanted to, and I did some research while we were waiting. So this has been soaking for 24 hours, so it's good now. But while we were waiting and soaking this cartridge, I wanted to find out exactly, how much the replacement cartridge and cube actually costs and how frequently you would have to replace them in this particular humidifier. And so the water cube, which essentially is it's got charcoal in it, and it's to keep the inside of your humidifier kind of fresh. That you would only replace once a year. And as far as the anti-colic cartridge, and I have a problem saying that, I'm sorry, but essentially it depends on how hard your water is. So they recommend that you replace this every 3 months if you have really soft water. If you got really hard water, it could be as frequently as every 15 days, which is crazy to me. That's a lot. So depending, if your water is really hard where you are, you could spend up to between that and replacing the water cube once a year. If you're using this thing year round and needed to replace and your water was hard, you'd actually essentially end up using 24 of these cartridges twice a month. You'd be replacing this thing, and that we're looking at like $340. $380 up to $407 with the water cube replacement per year to run this thing all year long. Now, if you were doing something like, we have really soft water, so running it for a full year, we're actually looking at about $86 or $87 around about to replace the cartridges in it to run it for a full year. and that's replacing the anticolic. I'm trying not to say it because I'm butchering the name, I'm sure. Yeah, replacing that cartridge every 3 months. Now, for us in particular, we're probably only going to end up spending about 55 months because I might use 2 of these cartridges per year. November all the way through to February, March is about the time frame we'd use it, and that's about a 5 to 6 month time frame. So we'd end up using 2 of these, and our water's soft enough that it's not going to do anything. So wanted to share that information with you and let you know. The room size that this is set to is made for humidifying is an 860 square foot room size, and the humidity output, it can do up to 3.5 gallons per day, and the power consumption is 10 to 95 watts. So it can do a warm and a cool mist, essential oil compatible. And you, of course, is going to place it on the floor. I have it sitting up here just so you can see it, but you can place it on the floor. And it does not come with a washable water filter, unfortunately. And the other thing is that it does have dimmable LED lights, which is also a very good thing. If you live in a place where it's very dark, you don't have a lot of street lights and stuff like that shining through your windows. If you put something in your room that gives off a lot of light, like a clock, believe it or not, just a clock can give off so much light that it keeps you awake if you're used to it being dark. And I like the room pitch black when I'm sleeping, so much so that I can't even see my hand in front of my face. That's how dark I like it now, because we live out in the boonies, as a few friends of mine have said before. So we don't have street lights, so we don't have all that light shining in the windows. So if there's any light whatsoever, I've gotten used to that, and it keeps me up. So just wanted to give you that information. We're going to go ahead and take this thing out. As we're soaking the cartridge, I just went ahead and put this back on. This cartridge will go in there, and I imagine you can run it without the cartridge. You know, you could actually also possibly go longer than 3 months. They recommend 3 months, but there's a thing about this cartridge that they actually said, which is that you can take a mirror and put it up against the up against where the steam is coming out, when the steam comes out about right here. So if you put a mirror up there and let the steam hit it, and or the vapor hit it, and when you move back from it, if there's a film left where that vapor is, then it's time to replace this cartridge. If there's not a film there, then you may not need to replace the cartridge as of yet. So we're going to go ahead and fill this bad boy up, and then go ahead and run it, and so you can see how loud it is and that kind of thing. And in case you were unaware, there is a max water line here. So you do not fill this all the way to the top. You'll just fill it to the max water line. The previous ones, I've filled them as far as I can go, but the one thing that you always have to keep in mind is where that fill line is, most likely once you put the cartridge in, it's going to raise the water level. So you don't want it, water spilling all over the place. So the best thing to do is to actually watch out for that fill line and fill it to that level. All right, now I've got this bad boy filled up to the fill level, and it's pretty heavy. That's a lot of water there. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and put this on. And as I was saying, it does. Is that it? That does not turn very far. So it's on. And then you'll take this and go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and put it on in here. And let's turn it on. Right now it says it's set to 53. So there are switches at the top here. Is on. So the line there, which is kind of hard to see, I'm actually going to, let's do something. I'm going to turn off my other light over here so that you can see this output level. So if you hit output, You see the lines there? That's set to the lowest output setting. And then the lines will increase. And you can barely hear it running. So the lines have increased. I have that all the way up. I'm actually turning the warm on. And there is a mist coming out, and it's very, very hard to see. But I can tell you right now, the one thing that I love about this thing is, I was going to use the decibel meter on my phone to check out just how loud this thing is, but it's not. I mean, if I'm quiet, you can't even hear it. I don't believe you can even really hear that in the microphone. And in my microphone is like right here, just above this humidifier. So you might hear it just a little bit, but if I stop talking, I think you may not even be able to hear it running. And I'm not sure how well you can see it, but right here where my hand is, there is a nice mist coming out. A very light mist. And so, output, now hydrostat, let's see what that is. Okay. So I'll turn it up to 75%, and on the little indicator there, it shows 75%. And at this point, since I turned it up to 75%, you should be able to, and I'll take something and hold it back here and see if that helps. You can see the mist that's coming out of the top there. And it's coming out pretty well. And this thing is ridiculously quiet. Ridiculously quiet. I mean, I'm ecstatic. The price is pretty, it's a pretty good price. So we're talking about around about $200 for this. And it comes with your initial cartridge and cube. And from there, it's just a matter of using it for, I mean, you don't even have to change out the cartridge for 3 months. So we're talking about 3 months of use before this cartridge, before you need to buy the first cartridge. And the cartridges, like I said, are no more than about $15 each. So what I may do myself is just go ahead and order like 2 more cartridges for it, or at least 1 more cartridge, which should take us all the way through the winter, and then order another set for next year. Or if I can catch them on sale or something like that, I'll order a couple and just keep them in storage so that we'll have them handy and we can just use them. And it's fantastic. You get a year to 2 years worth of cartridges. And this is the thing that gets me though. My old humidifier, believe it or not, I can still find the filters for. I can. And that thing is years old. But so what I normally like to do with items such as this one, you don't want to overdo it, because we don't know how long, and this is crazy how much steam is coming out of this thing. I don't know if you can see or how well you can see it. This is absolutely crazy how much steam is coming out of this bad boy right now. So I don't even know what to say. This is awesome, and I love how quiet it is. It's ridiculously quiet. And one of the main things that I'll be pretty I think will be pretty interesting for me to find out is just how much this, how long this will, how much water will be left in it first thing in the morning. Now the good thing is this little line up in here is open where you can see, and there's 2 LED lights on the inside. Now it is pretty light in here right now. If I turn the lights off, you might just be able to see the water level from the inside. Let's take a look. I can tell you right now, and this is pretty dark, one of the things I do not like is a blue light. don't necessarily care for the blue light while you're trying to sleep. However, and we'll see how bright that gets, or in the bedroom at nighttime. But you can see the water level. It's hard to tell, but the water level's all the way up here, all the way at the top. But you can see the water level. And like I said, the amount of steam that's pouring out of this thing is just, it's just awesome. I love that. I mean, it's just amazing to me anyway. I guess I'm just geeking out over it a little bit, but it's really good. It's really good. I'm really going to look forward to using this. So I hope. So wow. I mean, this is coming down in front of my face, real. It's funny. Anyway, I hope that this review. I'm actually turning this down a little bit because it's actually getting distracting at this point. There's so much steam coming out. So if you happen to have some sinus issues and that kind of thing, especially in the winter months when the air is really dry, if you're looking for a humidifier to use, then I do believe that this is, and I recommend it, it's an awesome humidifier. From what I'm seeing at this point, now I haven't used it for a while, but from what I'm seeing at this point, I really like it. It's very quiet, easy to clean. I think it's going to be a great addition to, or actually a great help for me sleeping at nighttime. I'm going to totally enjoy it. After this winter, I'll probably do another full review of this particular one and just give you my feeling on how it worked for me over the winter and that kind of thing. I do like to come back and give you another review on some products because I think after use, usually first impressions and first time reviews, you might be a little bit more hype about a product than after you've used it for a while, and then you really get to see what the ups and downs and that kind of thing are. So I'll probably come back and do another review on it later on, especially if you're asking me questions and that kind of thing. I'll do a couple more videos on this particular humidifier. But the Stadler Form Eva humidifier, I absolutely love it so far. My impressions, I don't even know what to say about it at this point. It seems to be something that's going to be a very, very, very good addition, or a good tool for us this winter, at least for me. It's really going to be good. So hope this helped you in some way. If it did, make sure that you drop a like, hit subscribe, and if you have a question, let me know. Check the description below. I will have links, and they are affiliate links. If you do decide that you want to get this humidifier or any other, that will definitely help me out. It doesn't cost you anything additional. It will definitely help this channel and some of the other things that I'm doing as far as providing information to you and others to continue to grow. So thank you so much for watching, and I will definitely talk to you again very, very soon.